he has been playing defensively. Quite a game against Mercer.
Jim, he was only 1 for 10 on Saturday. There's the double down. Let's see if it'll go opposite. Bibby didn't get himself in position.
5 on the shot clock here.
Bibby's got to come to the ball now and try to make a move off the dribble. Here's going to be the screen by Harris.
And Lulick wants the 20. He wants to
set up a play.
Absolutely, with only 5 on the shot clock.
He's going to put Miles Simon back in the game.
Billy, let's talk about what you've seen.
One seeds like Kansas and North Carolina, you have no reason to be afraid of anybody. And I think we have to go back to the fact that this team would not be a 5th place team in the Pac-10, nor have the losses that they had if they would have been at full strength at the start of the year. Plus, it's a very young team, so it's come on strong. How about that move, guys?
Good shot.
Luke Olson.
How about that?
Special kudos. There's a special 20-second timeout. You set up the play you want. Great coaching move.
You give them the biggest lead of the second half. They led it by 6 at one time in the first. It's now 4. And up the steal, they're looking for more. Simon in traffic. Followed up by Harris.
And there's the team speed. Harris, Ederson, Davis, Bramlett. All their big guys can really fly.
Kentucky wants to come back with a 20 of its own.
Jim, I think fatigue is setting in a little bit for Kentucky now. That Minnesota game, we can't say enough about how brutal the combat was in that game. And here's that great 20-second timeout that Lou Olson used to set up the play for Simon, his star for the night. And watch the big guys run on this play. Ederson coming back from behind. Keeps it alive. Harris, he's right there as well. We're talking about the big guys running.
Zeno will remind his team the mantra he's had all season: poor, hungry, driven. Trying to get this team.
I was looking over at the bench and I'm wondering how long is Rick Pitino going to go before he puts Turner back in. And just as my mind was thinking, boom, here comes Turner in the game. Rick Pitino can't wait much longer.
Mercer to Prickett. Good control of the ball by Prickett. So his first option was to be blocked, and Harris calls a timeout.
Lou Olson did not want to have to use a timeout to get the ball in bounds.
And it's a 20. So we've had 3 20s here, and just about a minute of action, more or less.
Well, the first one was a coach's 20 to set up a good play. That was an outstanding play by Prickett, hesitating with the ball. Nice dump down inside by Mercer. Good teamwork.
Prickett, who last year watched the championship game at the Meadowlands, sitting with the pep band as he set out the year with that medical red shirt. He wasn't even allowed to get down on the floor and celebrate. Security guard wouldn't let him. Finally, a member of the athletic department spotted him, brought him down to join the jubilation celebration. Boy, that pressure,
just
great
pressure. Dribbling work by Bibby.
Look at the pass over to Terry. Pushing the boards and on the back. Yeah, Kentucky, going against Kentucky.
Muhammad felt that he was pushed under the basket and didn't get the call.
Ball of Prickett, his second. Second team foul. Harris in trouble. And Prickett trying to bounce it off his leg. Bibby in the right spot.
That is the second time that Kentucky has created a turnover. Arizona's been able to then recapture the ball and score.
44-38 Arizona, 14 minutes remaining.
Turner back in the game. Let's see if he can get the ball in his hands off and start penetrating and kicking out.
Going the other way, call against Kentucky.
That's Prickett trying to set a screen to get Mercer free. But Jim, the reason that the screens are having to be set the way they are is Mercer is not as blazing quick as he normally is. And you can see the hands by Prickett. Simon trying to come over the top. The call is made.
That's the third on Prickett, and Mercer's going to have to get accustomed to playing 2 games in 3 nights next year.
Absolutely. Again,
wait till you have to play 82.
Again, watch Bibby. Sometimes when he realizes the patch is not there, he dribbles through. Other times when he sees it there, he goes over the top. For a freshman, he understands what to do.
Davison. Ramlet had it loose. Look at Davison. This team can jump, and they're still so fresh with the legs.
And quick to the ball. We saw that in the North Carolina game. We saw that in the Kansas game. Their big men can fly.
Never comes the rim. 2 on a shot clock and a whistle.
Foul on Paget.
What a break, because they were in no position to shoot a shot. Only 2 on the shot clock. They had not hit the rim with the Davison air ball.
You think Bibby didn't see that shot clock and he split the double team? Watch Bibby. He sees the shot clock right there. Now he splits the double team. Terrific move on his part.
3rd on Paget. Paget with 3, Prickett with 3, but Paget makes the steal.
Kentucky fans getting a little bit agitated here. They've got their 2 point guards in the game, and see if they can free up Mercer. Terry's on him. Mercer can shoot over him.
This one's going against Jason Terry, but just the 3rd team foul against Arizona.
Watch the big men for Arizona. Every time a screen is set, the big men hedge out. Now, Bramlett wasn't there that time, and that's what probably caused Terry to get that foul.
Mercer got stuck. Wow, the 2 players draped on him. And a whistle. Put a new computer unit in to run the shot clock. So we're back to play. Swinging it over to Simon. Oh, taking home like Bibby did Saturday.
There's Bramlett keeping it alive, but he couldn't get it back out.
Kentucky ball.
You noticed everybody from Arizona that time, Jim, stayed out on the perimeter. Nobody came back to help A.J. Bramlett out. When you've got a teammate in duress, you've got to go meet the ball.
12:30 remaining. Yes. Back to the rim and Bibby smothers the ball.
Semi-break coming up. Looking for him to rotate the ball quickly.
A mismatch, Muhammad on Terry.
He could have got a much better one than that, Jim, with that mismatch.
Turner and
a terrific penetrator. Turner, an All-American high school player out of Boston, is high in high school to tell you whether or not he can score with 62 points. He's found his role now at Kentucky. And here you'll see a great dribble. Takes it inside, puts it up with the right hand. He can go either way. And Ozzie Muhammad sits down. Glora in, and Rick Pitino getting great play out of that combination center position.
Bramlett picked up his 3rd. Turner, the only time in his Kentucky career he didn't get into a game was last year's title game.
See how Bibby took that ball to the center of the court instead of keeping it on the sidelines where Kentucky loves to trap.
Double up on Bramlett.
They haven't taken too much time to get the ball over.
Davis underneath charge.
Jim, for the first time, the Arizona players getting a little bit frustrated. A good sign for Rick Pitino's team.
Under 12 timeout in Indianapolis. Championship and Final Four, Indianapolis. Aerial shots brought to you by Goodyear, Circle City, Indianapolis. Arizona watching the Kentucky bench come in big with 25. All the starters have been held to 17. Mercer with only 5, the top man who averages 18 a game.
Jim, that bench is shooting 50%, the starters 29%. Arizona doing a great job out there guarding against the perimeter jump shot.
He's missed 6 in a row, but tipped up and in by Mercer.
Very dangerous guy in the offensive glass.
Come back from 6 down to tie it at 44. Wow, this time Davison retrieves. Here's Turner. Mercer comes out the back. Kentucky can regain the lead.
How about Turner? Not only with his rebounding tonight, but that was a sensational block against one of the best leaders in college ball.
Stolen back by Terry. To Simon, slicing in for two. 21 for Simon.
That was a very important basket for Arizona. They were really on the ropes here. Even though the score doesn't show it, you can see some cracks.
And they've given up 6 unanswered. Mercer's pass deflected, but McGlore's there.
Why do they double down on McGlore, knowing that they're good jump shooters outside?
Catch it. Mercer. Let it go! The shot of the night by Ron Mercer.
He is just cutting it through tonight. He does not have his normal legs. He's really tired, but he's showing what an All-American player's got to do. He was waiting for the shot to be blocked, put it up on the hesitation reverse.
And he got the 4th on Bramlett.
He really never did eye up the rim, Jim. He just was able to go ahead and do this out of instinct. See him right here? He's not even looking at the rim. Kentucky now making that change. Muhammad for McGlore. Those two guys have really played a key role for Kentucky tonight, with Mercer a little bit off in his game.
Mercer can give them the lead. Pitino says he has the potential to be one of the greatest. The only player who scored in last year's final for this Kentucky team that's on the floor tonight. He had 20 in the final against Syracuse as a freshman.
That was the MVP of the game, right, Jim?
Tony
Not of the tournament, but of the game.
Tony Delk had the 7 threes in the game. Just Simon travels out into the arms of Harris, and he is happy. Harris making some plays off the bench.
Both teams getting incredible play, particularly down inside, with Harris off the bench, making up for Bramlett's foul trouble right now. Ederson did a good job, and of course we've mentioned time and again McGlore and Muhammad.
Mills, his first 15 foul. Harris to shoot 2.
Harris last year basically spent the year backing up Ben Davis, the outstanding rebounder and scorer, and a good free throw shooter, but he banked it. Maybe that's in the...
they do that a lot.
That's exactly what happened for Billy, only it was a jump shot with that same basket Saturday.
Out for 2 puts Arizona back in front by 1, and we moved inside the 10-minute mark.
Simon on Turner.
He'll shoot free throws. Harris found one.
Little drop step by Muhammad.
3 on Harris.
Going down inside, I mentioned Muhammad, and you don't think about this until you look at the Kentucky stats, and as I mentioned, he's had big games. Double-doubles against Ohio State, Georgia Tech, and Auburn. Young man who's worked so hard to put himself in the physical condition to be a player.
I think if Kentucky wins, Pitino might win his 2nd straight Sportsman of the Year award in the state of Kentucky. Last year, after winning the national title, he was able to squeeze past the competition. Statewide total sports writers. Jefferson needs some help. He calls the timeout.
Remember in the first half, he got caught in there and did call the timeout and turn it over, so he gets a quick 20.
That's a 20-second timeout. Now they're going to call it a full. At first, they wanted a 20. Now they'll take the full. They'll be back. He was the owner of Grindstone, a horse that won the Derby. Got to win a championship to win that honor in the Commonwealth.
There's the press, and a great job by Simon to hit over the top.
Dickerson waits for the rest of the team.
Really kind of uncomfortable offensively, isn't he, Jim?
Just so uncertain after missing early.
He's had 5 30-point games and is hesitant on the offensive end because he just has lost confidence there, and there is another turnover. You really feel momentum, even though Kentucky is behind, momentum going their way.
you feel like Arizona's starting to get out of sync.
In the half-court offense, Arizona really hasn't executed well at all in the last 4 or 5 minutes.